Are we recording? Have we started recording?
Yes.
Yeah.
Neelam, good morning.
Sorry. Good morning. Sorry.
Definitely, we are privileged. We are blessed. We have the human emotions.
Each one of us has our insecurities. So I think that's one thing that's going to come across in this show.
We've shared a relationship, a friendship that spans 25 years. If it was anybody else, yes, I don't know if I would have done it. I wouldn't have done it, to be honest.
When we started shooting and the camera started rolling, it wasn't like action and cut. It wasn't. It was the real emotions just flow.
Social media has blown up. Do we want to put ourselves out there? Did we want to open our homes? Hell no. It was very nerve-wracking.
What was the question? I'm sorry. Sorry, someone else take this. I can't speak.
One preconceived notion about Bollywood or Bollywood families in general. This show will break that, for the masses.
That our lives are glamorous 24/7. That's not true. And that we're perfect. That's not true.
I think also that we're an emotional bunch and sensitive. I think that will come very crystal clear with everyone.
Trailer gives us signs of that.
And it's girl bonding. It's us. I mean, it's 25 years of a relationship, friendship that we've all shared. And I think that will come across really strongly. Honestly, I don't know exactly the preconceived notions people do have of us, but I think people will get a glimpse of us, emotional, women bond, how we were with our children, we're very much, I think women will connect to us. Yeah. I'm hoping, and I think so.
One of the preconceived notions could be that everybody is very privileged and don't really have to work hard for anything. And I think that sort of will break through the show, right?
Forget about Bollywood. I think any field, you got to work hard to get where you are. You can't see success. You can't see anything in life if you don't work hard at it. It could be your relationships. You got to work at it. Nothing comes
absolutely.
easy.
Yeah.
I think, yes, definitely we are privileged. We are blessed. We have, we have a lot of things, which we are grateful for. But at the same time, there are a lot of, having said that, there is everything else also that comes with it. We have the human emotions. We have the, ups and downs. We have days where we are extremely happy and, elated with things. And there are also days when, there is sadness. And so I think it's like any other family or, any other, human being, that we also have, all those emotions and friendships and, our children, our husbands, the same problems which most people have in your family environment, like this similar things.
Also, one more thing that will come across in the show, that each one has the insecurities.
Yes.
That's a big one, which people don't realize, that, they think that all celebrities are, just because they're out there and they're looking great. Each one of us has our insecurities. So I think that's one thing that's going to come across in this show.
That's true. We also have our highs and lows. Life is full of highs and lows, and it's no different for us.
Stardom works on a certain amount of mystery, and to put yourself out there so candidly, so honestly, like you're in the beginning, were you guys apprehensive about doing that because you're putting your whole personality out there the way it is?
And I think times have changed now. Times have changed. Earlier, there was always this mystery about a celebrity, okay? Because also there was no access to them. I think today times have really, really changed, because someone like Amitji is out there on social media. He's voicing his opinions, he's posting. So I think times have really, really changed. So for us to put ourselves out there, yes, it was difficult and we did have apprehensions, but I think it was needed.
We were all very apprehensive. It was daunting. It was intimidating at first. But the thing is, this is not a scripted show, right? So it's reality. There was no script. There was no acting involved whatsoever. It was we being ourselves. And the fact that we're together, the four of us, and we've shared a relationship, a friendship that spans 25 years, it was very comfortable. Keeping that in mind, if it was anybody else, yes, I don't know if I would have done it. I wouldn't have done it, to be honest. But because it was the three of them, it made life so much easier. And also the crew and everyone, we became so comfortable with them. They became like, a part of our home. So yeah, initially it was, but then as time went on, we kind of just forgot. We were just having fun. And that will come across in the show. You'll be able to tell that the ease with which we interact with each other, it's all very, very real.
I think that comes from knowing each other for the past 25 years, if not more. So I think the comfort level also comes, from that.
When we started shooting the show, like there were a lot of thoughts that even went in my head. And I was like, I'm going to behave in a certain manner. I'm going to control myself. I'm on camera. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say that. But, when we started shooting and the camera started rolling, it wasn't like action and cut. It wasn't. It was just there. It was the real emotions just flowed. I mean, there was seriously like all those control things that I was thinking of in my head, they just disappeared after a while, because it was like you cannot pretend for that long. You can pretend for those 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. Yeah. But after that, your real self will come out. And especially we were put in very real kind of situations, like a lunch together or an evening out. Those are things we even normally do in our lives. So when you are there and you're talking to each other, in 5 minutes, you're like, hey, that's not Seema or that's not Maheep. And then the real stuff comes out. I mean, I think probably just the first day, I must have tried to be in control. But after that, it was me.
Maheep, were you apprehensive?
Completely and utterly apprehensive. I think it took us a while to get on board, all of us. Like Neelam was completely hell no. Seema was yes, I'm on board. She was the first one on board. Bhavna and me were still weighing the pros and cons. I mean, it's really difficult at our age and our stage in our lives where we're so comfortable. And this was the last thing we were ever thinking of, to do a show like this, a reality show like this. To get on board and to be out there and be judged. As it is, social media has blown up, and it's given opportunity and access for trolls and people to just comment. They have direct access. Do we want to put ourselves out there? Did we want to open our homes? Hell no. It was very nerve-wracking, but I've said this before, it was my kids. They were my deciding factor. Once they said, listen, Mom, you need to do this, and Shania was very clear, listen, life is too short. You have to go on board on this, and you need to have stories to tell. And you're doing this with your 3 best friends. How wrong can you go? And my son also, you can't say no to Dharmatics and Netflix. You just can't. That was it. So, I mean, it was, once they were okay, and Sanjay was okay also with me going on this, I just said, you know what? Why not? Yes, we must.
Despite the fact that we've all been friends. But I think the whole idea was just to have fun. It is 4 of us. Okay, we've done our trip in the show. You'll see it. It's stuff that we actually do. And, the whole idea behind this coming out with this show was just to show the world that, girls can have fun. A sneak peek into our lives, what we go through, our work, our family, our children. So that was the whole idea behind it.
I know you guys know each other for 25 years, but obviously when something like this happens, did you find out anything surprising about each other? Or did you find out any secrets or like fun things that came out in the show? Oh my God, I didn't know that she was going to react like this. Did you guys have those moments in the show?
Well, one thing I did discover was that each one of them, they do get anxious at some point in life. I think because, it was the first time for them to face the camera. Actually, not the first time. They've done it before, but Seema, it was the first time. I think we all put so much pressure on ourselves. So at different times, each one was getting a little bit of anxiousness. Now it's out for release. It's up for release almost. And I can feel myself, I mean, I'm getting palpitations because people are going to see me out there after, more than 20 years. So I'm getting anxious. When the show was starting, Seema was, when the concept came to her, she was okay. But I think when the actual shooting was beginning, she started getting anxious. Maheep at a different time, Bhavna at a different time. So that's one thing that I discovered.
when I said yes, actually, when this show kind of just fell in our lap. So I knew it was a Netflix and dramatic show. And my son said the same thing to me, that who says no? So when these three girls were deciding, I was like, I knew at the end of it, they're not going to say no. So I think I kind of just let the ball roll and kind of let it go where it may. But the thing is, I knew that we would all eventually, for me, it was going to be a fun ride because it was three of them, right? And this kind of an experience and this kind of a story to tell, not many people get the opportunity to do. From that point of view, I kind of wasn't nervous initially, and I kind of just let it go because there was so much time still, by the time we were going to shoot. But when the actual day came to shoot, I was a mess. I was a mess. I was like, what the hell have I said yes to? Because the thing is, I've never faced a camera. So it was very, very daunting for me. But I have to say, if it wasn't for these three, I wouldn't have done it.
Maheep, did you discover anything about all three of them which you didn't know before?
Neelam is an actress, so I can't really include her in this. But even though Bhavna did VJ and she's faced the camera before, but they were a fish in water, these two, with the camera. I found that everyone was relaxed, everyone was comfortable, everyone was just going with the flow. In 5 minutes flat, we forgot the camera was even there, to tell you honestly. We used to get so engrossed in our conversations. It used to just flow. So I found that surprising. Otherwise, I know these women too well. I mean, it's 25 years. I know them pretty much inside out.
Did you guys ever say something and be like, okay, guys, we need to edit this out later? Or
Not at all.
Not at all. No.
Not at all.
Me too, yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's going to be fun to watch. One of you said that we all have the same problems as normal people. Tell me one of these problems that everybody had.
One thing women will relate to us is going to be us as mothers. We are very territorial, possessive, and obsessive about our children. And I think women will identify with us, and they'll probably see a point of view because we've discussed our children, we've discussed our homes, our husbands. I don't want to give away the show too much, but I think there'll be interesting points of view, being out there, up for judgment, with social media, everything is scrutinized, everything's under magnifying glass. So how difficult that is, I think mothers will identify with us a lot.
No, I was going to say, I think women will also identify with us. I mean, we are just like all women out there. We also multitask. We all know that women are multitaskers. And I think that is such an important point that, as women, how we juggle the home and work and kids, it's a tough job. Yeah. But I think women will identify with us as well.
Especially during the pandemic when everybody got to juggle a lot of things. You were home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. It's a big thing. I mean, to juggle everything and to keep the balance. I mean, that's a woman's job, right? At the end of the day.
So, going back to what you actually started the whole thing with was that breaking the preconceived notions or the myths. Honestly, and this is something you all will see when you all watch the show, is that this show was not intended to do that. Like, none of us are here trying to prove that, hey guys, we are the same as y'all, or, this is a preconceived notion about me or Maheep or Seema, and we are trying to break it and prove something to you. It's not there. And that is something people will realize in the show. The situations we have behaved like we would behave ordinarily in any situation. And as Seema said that, like a woman's job, like today's women, all of them are multitasking. You're working, you have kids, you have husbands, you have a home. And that is something that is going to come across, and that is something which all women are going to relate to. You're at work and a child calls and they're like, hey, first you tend to me, and you could be in like the most important meeting or doing the most biggest business deal. But it's like, if your child calls and they say like, I want this right now, you are literally saying, excuse me for a second, stepping out, doing it and coming back. So things like that. It's normal. It's pretty normal. Of course, a little bit is exaggerated for the fun of it, and, especially our holiday, which we take together. But that is all in pure fun.
That holiday actually reminded me, like when I saw the trailer, it really reminded me of Sex and the City. Like, obviously you're not all single, but but it was like those 4 girls having a good time, shopping, having fun and, giggling at a bar and things like that. So if you had to describe who is who from Sex and the City.
So Maheep is definitely Samantha. Neelam definitely has the Charlotte
I'll take
title.
Charlotte.
the go between is between Bhavna and me. And who's the Miranda? We have a little bit of all of them, I think.
Thank you so much for talking to me. I'm really looking forward to watching the show.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.